So I'm sitting here and earlier this week the hard drive that I run backups to crashed. That's not good. I started to investigate if it was possible to back up my entire computer to OneDrive and I discovered that it is. This can be achieved by using a piece of backup software called Veeam Free, which, as the name suggests, is free. I've used the paid version in work, however I was surprised to find that the free version offers a lot of the functionality of the paid version. In this guide, I will show you how to back up an image of your entire primary hard drive up to the cloud, in this case, OneDrive, so you will be able to restore or any missing files should your computer crash completely. I will include a link below to download and install the Veeam free software. You may not be aware, but if you have a subscription to Office 365 Home Edition, then you have a 1 TB cloud storage with OneDrive. Also, another useful tip is that with the Office 365 Home Edition you can allocate up to 5 accounts and each of these accounts comes with a 1 TB of cloud-based storage. Install Veeam Free Desktop Edition. So here I will go through installing Veeam and then go on through setting up the running of the daily backup process. It's worth noting that the length of time the initial backup process to the cloud takes is heavily dependent on your internet connection. So if you're using mobile data, I would not recommend doing this process because you will use up your entire monthly data allowance. The initial backup may take hours or possibly even overnight if you have a large hard drive that needs to be backed up to the cloud. Now you may be wondering, why would you want to back up to the cloud if you can just back up to your local computer, be it a PC or a Mac? Well, backing up to the cloud is extremely useful for several reasons, primarily if you have anything happen to your computer. For example, you spill a mug of coffee onto the computer or you get a power surge and the hard drive that you back up to locally fails, which happens a lot more than you would suspect, and with the cloud storage you have much more wiggle room and also peace of mind. If you click on the link below, go through the motions and install Veeam free software. Download Veeam Free Windows Edition here. Please note that you'll be required to sign up for a free account. They will send you some marketing emails now and then, but it's not a huge amount. If you wish, you could just create a new Gmail account and sign up using that. Configure the backup. Once that's done, open the software, click in the upper left on the symbol of the 3 lines, some people call it a burger, and click Add a New Job. Here you'll be presented with a screen with a series of different options, so initially, you just need to give the backup job a name, so you can call this whatever you like. It's your personal preference, so give it a name and click on Next. Now here you'll see another series of options. It's asking you where do you want to save the actual backup to, so you've got local, which is local driver, whatever shared folder that would be used if you and maybe an ass or one another. You maybe had computers to set up around the house and one of them had a hard drive that had been shared like a folder to have been shared out to the network. You've also got the Veeam backup repository that is generally a paid feature, so in this scenario we're not going to work, but that's so much. But the one we do want is the last one, which is Microsoft OneDrive. With the free version, it does not allow you to select the entire computer if you want to back up to the OneDrive system. However, you can select a volume level backup. Once you have that selected, click on Next. By default, none of these tick boxes for the drives will be ticked if you take the operating system, which is the first one that will select your C drive, which is assuming that you have your copy of Windows installed on C drive. So once you've done that, click on Next. You'll now be presented with another screen. You'll see a small red circle with an X which says you are not signed in to Microsoft OneDrive. If you click on that blue link, it will bring you to a new pop-up box which will allow you to sign in to your Microsoft account. Do this and you will be brought back to the same screen, and you can also see here it's asking you how many days you would like to keep a backup. So what this will do is it will run a cycle of 14 days, and when it gets to the 15th day the cycle will start again and it will remove the old backups. This is done so it will save storage space. Something to note: when you've signed into OneDrive within the Veeam application, you'll see a yellow warning box appear which shows you which folder you need to deselect within OneDrive to make sure that folder is not being synchronized back down to your hard drive, because if it is, it will fill up all the space on your hard drive very, very quickly, and you don't want to do this. So select how many days you want in the cycle and then click on Next. Schedule the backup. On the next screen, you will be given the option to select how frequently the backup should run. I would recommend that you have backup run daily at a time that you know the computer will be switched on. If you look on the right-hand side of the screen, you will see there is an option that says Backup Once Powered On. This is a very useful feature because if, for whatever reason, your computer is powered off when the backup is scheduled to run, then the backup will automatically start the next time that you turn on your computer. You can also specify options of what should happen once the backup complete. You can have it lock the computer, log you out of the computer, or have the backup run once you connect a USB hard drive to the computer. Click on Apply and you will be presented with the summary screen of the choices that you have made. You'll notice there's an option which says Run this job. When I click on Finish, if you take that box and click on Finish, the backup double run straight away instead of at the time you have specified in the previous screen. The benefits of backing up your hard drive to the cloud. As noted earlier, having a cloud backup of your files is extremely useful, especially if you live in an area that is prone to power surges, storms, or other natural calamities that may threaten the lifespan of your computer. I'll give you an example as to why this is a good system to have in place, although in fairness, as a home user this may directly apply to you, but then again, who knows? We recently had one of our newer clients who we had implemented off-site cloud backups for the experience just why off-site backups are so important. We set up the business version of Veeam for them and configured a daily backup of their files to an Amazon Oz bucket. Yes, Amazon offer online storage in case you're interested. I'm sure this story will sound fanciful and fantastic, but it genuinely is true. The week after we had backed up their files to the cloud, the building that their office was located in burned to the ground. Now, you're probably thinking, wow, that's crazy, but the craziness of it doesn't end there. Our client then moved to a temporary location, think something along the lines of one of those WeWork type places. They were only in the new place for about 2 weeks and then their office got broken into. All the laptops and the PC that they were using as a server were stolen. Again, I'm sure this all sounds like something from a fairy tale, but I assure you it did happen, and what saved their bacon was that the files they needed to keep the company ticking over on a day-to-day basis had been stored online. As I said, it's unlikely if you're a home-based user that you'd encounter this scenario, but you never really know, and it's always good to keep an off-site backup even if you are a home user just working with personal files.